Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/inkdependence. It keeps this channel ad-free. Hello folks, welcome to Ink Dependence. I'm Mike, and this is Diplomat Pine Tree. It comes in this cute little bottle, which looks a lot like the Pelican ink bottles and the old Kaweco bottles and things of that nature, which makes sense for a German ink. Diplomat makes some of my favorite pens. I love the, Diplomat Aeros and Excellences and all that jazz. Been a fan of them for a while, and so when they released a bunch of inks, I reached out to Dromgoole and I was like, hey, can I take a look at some of those inks? And so they sent me a few, and this is Diplomat Pine Tree, which is a brown, shockingly enough, and it says it's made by Octopus Fluids, which is they make all kinds of inks and dyes and stuff, which is not surprising, but it is really interesting that they put the maker of the ink on the ink, because that is really rare. You can see here that it is a nice rich brown with a little bit of a reddish tint. Let's cap that back up. Here's what this ink looks like on the Rhodia 80 grams per square meter paper. It flows a little bit dry, and it's been in this pen for quite a while. This is my Aurora 888 Black Mamba, which I have refilled at least a couple of times out of this bottle, because I actually like this ink quite a bit. It's a little bit dry, but that makes it excellent on copy paper, and it's done really well in the fine nib of this Aurora Black Mamba, which is a pen that I absolutely love. Look how cool that is. All right, so there we go. There's that pen, and I like having a brown ink and a black pen. I don't know, it doesn't match, but I still like it. Like it's still cool. So a little bit dry, really good on copy paper. Here it is on that copy paper. This is Staples 20-pound, 30% recycled copy paper, and it doesn't have any problems here at all. There are, I guess I could say there's like a little bit of feathering, or rather spreading every once in a while. So like the N there, and like a letter or so here in Aurora, but this is bad paper, and so I'm not surprised. But here's the bleed through. Almost nothing at all. Just like a couple little lines and bits, but it's doing real well on here from a fine nib, and it's a fairly dry ink. But I think it looks very nice. It's kind of pine tree-ish, but I don't know. It makes me think of walnuts or something. I don't know why, but just kind of does. Comes in a 30 ml bottle, this one right here, and the prices range wildly on the internet between $10.80 a bottle and $13.50. So a very nicely priced ink, I think. I have liked a few of these Diplomat inks. Other ones, not quite the color I was looking for, but this one is pretty cool. It's a little bit flat, but I do enjoy it, even though I'm like, it's not rocking my world, and that's true. But I keep using it because it works so well, right? It's gonna start up no problem. Right there. Yeah, no issues starting up, even though it's a little bit on the dry side. It just sort of straddles that line of dry and medium and like very usable without being, it's not terribly exciting, but I do like it. Okay, so let's do the water test. Take a look at the chromatography, similar colors, and things like some other papers. So let's get some water on here. Just went a little bit hog wild on the water there, but like whatever, we got all this open space. There we have it. Right there. Oh, interesting. A little bit of red floating away there. Look at that. That's cool. All right, let's mop this up. My paper towel might be too small. I hope it's not. I think it'll be okay. There we go. Interesting. So we saw the brown that it started out with. We saw the red that kind of came to the top. There's actually a little bit there and in here. And then now what's left is gold. Interesting. So here's what the chromatography looks like. And this is one of the cooler chromatographies I've seen in a while. It's not, it doesn't have that many colors in it, but man, comparing this ink to this chromatography, if I had to match those, I'm not sure that I could, because you have a whole lot of like a burgundy maroon up here. You got this golden brown down here, and then sort of a chestnutty, piney color right in here. Now, a lot of people expect that a pine ink will be green. There are lots of green pine inks. This one, however, going for that bark. So sometimes you got to go bark instead of needles. Okay, let's look at this on some other papers. Here it is on Domtar Bold 28, which came to me from Blank Slate paper. I made this grid and stuff. You can design your own paper there at Blank Slate. It's very cool. I'll try to remember to put a link down there in the description. And it has worked really well on this paper. It feels good. It looks nice. It doesn't have that thing where it starts out very dark and then gets really light by the end of the page. It's got a very even sort of flow through this nib, which is a great nib. So I really liked it on here. I didn't have any problems with bleeding or feathering or spreading or any of that jazz. I wrote a whole bunch. Nothing came through the other side. Well, if I'm being super picky, like maybe there's something right there, but effectively nothing coming through that paper, which is really nice. I like that. All right, next up we have wheat straw paper. This is in a currently inked Inky Fingers notebook. This is roughly equivalent to things like sugarcane paper. And there it is up here in this top quadrant. I don't think it looks as good here as it does here. It's just kind of, it's more pale and kind of streaky. And usually I say things look really good on this paper. This one I like more on the more absorbent paper. Maybe because it's just kind of drier. I don't know, but I don't love it on this paper, even though it looks pretty okay. And then here on Tomoe River, it looks entirely different, I think, to this one. It's got more of that yellowish cast comes out. I don't know, maybe because it doesn't soak in as much, or maybe just because of the coating or something there. But I think it looks really good on Tomoe River, really good on the more absorbent paper, only okay on the wheat straw or sugarcane style papers. Now for color comparisons, here is Diplomat Pine Tree. Got this from Dromgoole, as I said, in 2021. Thank you, Dromgoole, for letting me have this ink for review. Here it is next to Aurora Sepia, which is one that I got from Kenro a year before that in 2020. It's a pretty nice ink. This is one of the Aurora inks that I like better. This one, I think I just have a sample of that one. Pelikan Edelstein Smoky Quartz from Pelikan Hub a few years ago, back when we had Pelikan Hubs. Remember those? This one comes out much more yellow. This one is much more red. This is kind of, just down the middle. It's a very interesting color. Then IWI Colors of Nature Autumnal Equinox, which I got from Van Ness. I haven't used this in a pen yet, but it's got also more of a yellow cast than Pine Tree does. And then Diamine Gibson Les Paul Tobacco Sunburst. Again, yellower. This is a hard color to match. Next up, Girbon Lidate, which is a really nice ink from Girbon. I'm not usually a huge fan of the Girbon, but I like Lidate. Again, kind of a dry brown, and again, more of a yellow. And then here, I think, this is Cult Pen's Deep Dark Brown, and this is kind of close, but this is even cooler than Dromgoole. Thank you, Eleanor, for this ink, if you happen to watch this video. Haven't seen Eleanor in too long. So, really, I don't have anything that's exactly like Pine Tree, and maybe that's something that draws me to it, because I do have a lot of brown inks. I mean, this is just the ones that were kind of close, and I have a lot of browns, and this one is sort of singular. I didn't have anything that matched it exactly. So thanks very much for letting me have this ink for review, Dromgoole. Y'all go check out Diplomat's inks over there at Dromgoole or wherever you find ink, and let me know what your favorite brown is down there in the description. Leave a comment, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you have not. You're at the end of the video. Hit that subscribe. You know you liked it, and you will see me in the next video. Peace out.